This is Zarion peart. I just received my truck from the individual who towed it to me. Before he unloaded it, I noticed damage to my vehicle. At first, I said he did it, and he informed me it was impossible for him to do it because they loaded my truck with a forklift. So I then looked further, only to find damage to the undercarriage of my vehicle due to it being loaded or moved around with a forklift. If you can notice back here, you have forklift marks from where they went under my truck. I've got scrapes on my exhaust. My sway bar bracket is bent. As you can see, it's not supposed to be like this. And you can see fresh, non-corroded marks. My sway bar is also pushed over from where it's supposed to sit inside these bushings on both sides. It's pushed over to the passenger side of the vehicle. This is the driver's side we're looking at now. My U-bolts have been scuffed that hold my rear suspension together. My shock has a dent in it from being hit with a forklift, the feet on the forklift. The bushings, my drive shaft, are cracked from the drive shaft itself being lifted up on in order to, I guess, maneuver my vehicle or load it. I have an air horn set up, and as you can see, this is bent here, and the actual pump itself is pushed up into the floor of my cab. My transfer casing support brace is pushed up onto my transfer casing. If you look closer, you'll see there's no space in between there. There's also forklift scuff marks under it. Been picked up with a forklift. My actual air horn that tank supplies is damaged. It's been ripped off the frame of the truck. As you can see, the motor for the air tank is smashed up into the cab of my truck. We also have fresh scrape marks on my step sides. I don't know if you can see that, but I have scrape marks where it's been picked up with a forklift. I don't know if my drive shaft is bent, but the mechanic told me he'll figure that out once he's got the truck up in the air and basically, I guess, let it spin. My other sway bar on the driver's side right behind my gas tank is also damaged. As you can see, it's been hit with a forklift. The bolt is messed up. As you can see up here, the bushing is pulled apart because the actual bar itself has been pushed inwards towards the gas tank, and it's not supposed to sit like that. As you can see, the scrape marks on my suspension leaf spring mount from being hit with a forklift. The result of that is being snatched apart. My leaf spring snatches that hold my leaf springs together for my rear suspension is damaged. My windows wind up, but yet they leave my windows down, allowing the inside of my vehicle to get dusty and weathered, which is minute. But I don't know why my back seats look like that, why they have rubber tar on it, asphalt, shall I say. I have no clue on how the asphalt got in there because I don't do construction work. Nor do I know why it's so dirty back here. I can understand my driver's seat being dirty. I do not have any need or own a tire, a spare tire like this. I don't know what they utilize that for in maneuvering my vehicle around their yard. I also noticed that my front bush guard is pushed in. The individual who brought my truck here loaded it backwards. They picked it up with a forklift and loaded it so the front of my vehicle faced the rear of his vehicle. So there was no physical way he could have done this. There's supposed to be an 1 inch to a 2 inch gap right here. And as you can see, it's been pushed in. Now, prior to my vehicle being put in this lot, as it was recovered by the police, where it was recovered from, I don't know, but I made it to the record yard, B&L, before the actual tow driver made it there. So I watched him unload my vehicle, and he unloaded my vehicle with the rear of my vehicle facing the front of my vehicle pointing backwards on his vehicle. So there's no way the B&L could have done this, and there's no way the driver who dropped my truck off could have done this. So the individual who either dropped my truck off, who took it from B&L, had to have done this, or the individuals on the yard that my truck was shipped to have done this. I guess they felt as if my truck was going to be auctioned off, so they didn't really give two fucks, basically, that my vehicle, to them it was just a vehicle, but it's my vehicle, and something needs to be done about this additional damage as opposed to the damage that was done from the theft. So yeah, that's basically where we are.